If you had asked me 6 months ago to describe my ideal workday, I would have painted you a picture of quiet, predictable hours. Coffee at 8, emails by 9, lunch at exactly 12:30. A steady rhythm I could count on, like the ticking of the office clock in the marketing department of Northwest Vista Media here in Portland, Oregon. I liked it that way. Predictability meant control. And surprises usually meant trouble, which is why the text from my boss, Linda, on that gray March morning made me uneasy. Need you in the conference room at 9 a.m. sharp. We have a guest. She didn't use ellipses often, and my curiosity tangled with dread as I grabbed my laptop and headed upstairs. The conference room was all glass and sunlight, the long oak table polished to a mirror-like finish. A man stood near the window, looking out at the drizzle-soft skyline. When he turned, my pulse stuttered. He wasn't dressed like anyone in our office. No tie, no stiff jacket, just a navy sweater over a white shirt, dark jeans, and the kind of ease some people carry like a passport that works everywhere. His smile was immediate, warm, and just a little crooked. "Hi," he said. "You must be Claire." I blinked. "I am. And you are?" Before he could answer, Linda swept in with her usual energy. "Claire, this is Evan Mitchell. He's going to be working with us on the Harbor View campaign." Our team rarely collaborated with outsiders, and never with freelance creatives, but Evan was a photographer, a very good one, judging by the portfolio Linda showed during the meeting. I spent the first hour scribbling notes while he spoke about natural light like it was alive, his voice making me believe every word even when I didn't understand half the terms. When Linda announced I'd be his primary point of contact, my stomach sank. My life was about routine, and Evan looked like a walking disruption. Week 1 was chaos. He ignored the schedules I built, vanished for hours chasing the perfect shot, and returned with images so stunning it was hard to stay annoyed. By Thursday, I'd had enough. I found him in the editing room, hunched over his laptop, the glow highlighting his focus. "You can't just disappear without telling me where you're going," I snapped. Without looking up, he said, "Claire, you can have perfect schedules or perfect photos. Pick one." I wanted to be furious, but I laughed, once quickly, before I could stop myself. From there, something shifted. Between arguments about deadlines, we started talking about his childhood in Montana, the way his camera had taken him around the world, and how this was the longest he'd stayed anywhere in years. He asked about me too, and I told him about my plant-filled apartment, my weekend baking habit, my love of rainy afternoons with a good book. "You like knowing what's coming," he said. "I do," I admitted. "Surprises aren't my thing." Which made his next move all the more unexpected. A rainy Friday, he appeared at my desk and said, "Come with me for an hour." Against my better judgment, I grabbed my coat. He drove to the waterfront, where the rain had softened to a mist, and led me between 2 warehouses to a hidden pier with the city skyline glowing faintly through the clouds. "I found this last week," he said. "Thought you'd like it." I did, more than I wanted to admit, and we stood there in silence, the soft slap of water against wood filling the space between us. After that, the Harbor View project gained momentum. Evan's images captured something real. The light on the harbor at sunrise, the worn boardwalk, the life in people's faces, and I started looking forward to his chaotic updates, even when they derailed my plans. Then came the crisis. 2 weeks before launch, the client discovered a competing campaign with eerily similar visuals. Linda was ready to scrap everything, but Evan shook his head. "Give us 3 days, he said, looking at me. I knew what he meant. Long hours, dawn shoots, rewriting copy at midnight, and we did it. By the 3rd day, we had something new, something better, and the client loved it. Standing beside Evan when we got the green light, I felt not just relief, but a quiet, shared pride. The launch was flawless, the client sent flowers. Linda called it our smoothest big project in years. Which made me laugh, remembering the chaos. Then Evan told me he was leaving. "My next assignment's in Alaska," he said. "Wildlife project. I leave in 2 weeks." I nodded, my throat tight. "You're always chasing the next view, aren't you?" He hesitated. "Yeah. But this time, I'm not sure I want to." His last week was a blur, but on his final evening, we went to the pier one more time. "You know," I told him, "I thought you'd be a headache." "And?" he asked. and I loved every second of it. He reached into his pocket and handed me a small envelope. Inside was a photograph of the pier at sunset, the city glowing gold, with his handwriting in the corner. For when you miss surprises. It's been 6 months now. Evan still travels, but every time he's in Portland, we find our way back to that pier, and every time, I'm reminded that some surprises don't vanish when they end. They echo, they grow. And if you're lucky, they keep finding their way back to you.